We have this Gray from Moses Sumney, which we reviewed the first part, which is songs 1 through 12, and this is the second part, so the entire album, double album was released, which is an extra 8 songs on it. It's definitely a continuation of the sound that you had for the first part, but with a little bit more, I wouldn't say normal pieces of music, but ones that are a little more mainstream into it.
Less experimental.
Less experimental.
I wouldn't even say more mainstream, but
because none of this is mainstream at all.
Yeah, the thing with Moses Sumney is that it's sort of, I think I described it almost like D'Angelo in the sense that it's very soul and like...
It's like Peter Bjorn in that way too, where it's like a mixture of him and Peter Bjorn would be like a perfect description of it, because you can get some of those really airy things where it's a lot of just voice and percussion in the background, and that's really it. And then you have other pieces which are more experimental. You have some stuff that's a little bit more substance in it. So there's a lot to listen to in this.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it necessarily needs
the
two on it, because I genuinely liked the first part, and I think I liked a lot of In Bloom. I liked Color with UOUR.
That's a super nice spelling of it.
Which is a really weird.
We really both love Neither Nor.
I would say my favorite's Neither Nor, and it probably still is on this double album. Is Neither Nor is probably my favorite. I also like Before Your Go, which is the last song on it, and then Me in 20 Years. I like a lot as well.
Really, on this one, I like on the new one, I like Polly and Bystanders.
Okay, those are good too.
I think they're really good, but like more to say, I guess like to get the idea of this out on there is that there's a lot of different ways to do double albums. Double albums are now a thing that exist. You could do the Culture 3-way, which is we're just going to release it. Here's all 30 of the songs, have fun. There's the Foles way, which is you release it kind of fairly half. Both parts are manageable. It's kind of hard to tell why it needed to be double. It could have just been one, and you're a little more economic with what songs you pick, and maybe just make use of EPs and all this other stuff, which is traditional, but you're allowed to try different things. We got to EPs for a purpose. There's the Eternal A Takeaway, which is I call it deluxe mode. Yeah. Which is 1 week later you drop a deluxe album. Yep. That's just like all the releases, and then there's the 1975 way, which is just like step 3 ?
Yeah, which is basically single. We also have another 7 songs coming on, so I don't even know why.
We have a double album as like a concept, but it's really in marketing because the albums seem kind of apart from each other now. Like it's going to be interesting, and we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about that soon. But like this version of the double album, which is like you release part 1 and the second part completes it. Zoo did this as well with Ringo's Desert, but it was short.
And it was really short, and the second part really wrapped up the whole album. The problem with Gray is I really like it in the sense of that first album, that first part. I don't think it needs a second thing because since it's so, I wouldn't say super experimental, but it's so unique and so different. It doesn't need any more of the same in that aspect, because a lot of the songs on that second part definitely belong in it, but I don't think they need to be released as that. They could be released in different EPs or singles or stuff. Like even with, or you could do Tame Impala, where Tame Impala left 2 singles out of his album.
Yeah.
So there's things like that where you can still release the music, but you don't necessarily need to put it into this album, because now this album feels really long when you go from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And for the songs and everything that are in it that are so like ethereal and the kind of that airy style of music, you can only have it for so long before it just kind of morphs into just something that it just feels too long. It feels,
I'm just going to say, I would definitely prefer to listen to an hour of Moses Sumney than an hour of Future.
1,000,000%, yes.
And like, it's not even just like it's hard to compare as apples and oranges because it's different genres, but just objectively, Moses Sumney sounds better.
And Moses Sumney is good. Like that first part is fantastic. I really like it.
I think this ends very well. Like I think
Before You Go is a sexy song.
From Lucky Me down to Before You Go is all really nice, and it wraps in with the beginning, with the first song. I just wish like some of the not filler, but some of the erroneous songs from the first part would be cut out, and then put some of the good ones from part 2, and then make it all maybe 48 minutes. That would have been a perfectly fine thing. It's a little bit on the long side still, maybe 52 minutes on the long side, but you're getting to the gist of what makes it
exactly.
on the album. Unfortunately, some songs got on the cutting room floor. Plastic Beach, there were 90 songs made for Plastic Beach. Damon Albarn just decided to release those over a decade's period of time.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Kid A had so many songs that they released another album the following year. So like you have different ways of doing this, and I think this is the wrong way of doing it. To where now, I wouldn't say you ruin a perfectly good album, but I think there are different ways to make this album better if you cut out some of the songs of those two parts and just chopped up all the stuff. Well, I don't say chop up, but you put into the stuff that gets to the point of it, so that way it doesn't feel as long, doesn't feel as
drawn out.
Yeah, it's like drawn out.
That's for sure.
But it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It just doesn't play through as well as an album as I wish.
What does it mean
did.
to play us out?
Establishments you go to after things reopen. I'm gonna give this a barbershop. Longer than you want it to be.
This is the dentist, because it feels really nice when your teeth get clean, but you hate going there.
That's fair.
Where?
That's really robust. It's like the arbitrary scales are better ways of comparing albums than scores. Anyways,